Hey everybody, welcome back. So you guys have seen me use these silverware strainers to build stoves before. Today we're going to take the parts you see in front of you and turn one of these into a gas stove. Alright everybody, welcome back. So I'm going to explain to you what I'm going to do here and show you where my idea comes from. A while back, probably a couple years ago, I built this. This is a wood stove that I built for my silverware strainer. And I have a Stanley cook kit in it and an extra little cup. And when I want to use this, what I'll do is take these tent stakes and run them across here, like so. Start my fire and put my Stanley cook kit in. And it works really, really well. Let me lift up the camera a little bit so you can see that. There. So you can see how the cook kit sits in there. And it also kind of gives it a little bit of a windbreak around it. And this actually works very, very well. I mean, you're literally just starting a fire here. There's not much to it. There's 4 bolts on the bottom. So that was my idea for it, except I wanted to do a little bit of a gas stove as well. So that's where the idea today comes from. And I will show you the parts as I drop this in. I will show you the parts that we are going to use to do it today. Okay, so we're back over here now, and this is the strainer. Of course, I picked this strainer up at Walmart. I think they're like $8, $9. I don't know. They're not expensive, maybe $6. I totally forget how much they were. Bolts. I'll show you the sizes there. 3/16 by 2 inches. I think those are the short ones. Let me see what else I got here. And 3/8 by 2 inches. So these are the 2 different bolts, and this is how I'm going to have them set up. We'll explain that in a minute. These are the long ones for the feet, and these are going to be the pot stands in the center. Some washers, some 3/8 inch washers. And most importantly, an old gas stove. Now I started to take it apart. Let me move this out of the way so I can show you. I started to take it apart, and I was like, you know what, this would make a really good video. This was just a project I wanted to do for myself. So I will explain to you how I did this. Now you guys may remember, this is that remote canister stove, and I have a new one. And this is the Lixada. It's kind of a remote isobutane canister stove. So I kind of set this up. You remember these fold open like that and down like that. And you set it out like this. Well, take it apart is fairly simple. When I first looked at it, it was confusing to me. But you'll see these 2 holes here. And basically what you'll do with this is when this is inside that, you'll unscrew this top. This top screws right off. But this piece will stay in there. And you'll undo these 2 screws, and that's these here. And you can throw these out when we're done or put them away or whatever. Okay? I took off the piezo igniter here because actually it wasn't working anymore. So I undid the bottom, like this, and just pulled that right off. Now this is how we're going to put this in the bottom of the stove there. So let me get this stuff out of the way, and we'll start showing you what I started to do on this, and we'll finish up the project. So the first thing you want to do with this is set up a way to have your pot actually stay in there. But I'm going to do a little differently. I'm going to put the feet on first because it'll be a little bit easier to get in there, and I'll show you the tools you'll need to do this. A little bit easier to get in there and tighten the feet up. So my pot stand is going to work like this. These bolts are going to go in here with a washer and a washer on the inside and just the nut. And it'll just sit there and it'll hold the pot. So we'll do like a 1, 2, 3, like a triangle, and it'll be a nice little setup in there. But before we do that, like I said, I want to take this out because I want to be able to get down in there with my ratchet set and tighten up the legs as tight as I can get them without too much trouble. So I'll show you how we do this because I'm going to put a washer on the outside and inside of all this to hold everything in place really well. There. So on the outside, you're going to put a washer. Put it through the material, put another washer on the other side of the wall, and just screw it down like that. And that's it. That's really, really simple. So the tools you'll need are some kind of ratchet set. Now you could do this by hand. You don't need this. And this may not even work for my purposes. This will be the bolt that you'll need for this here. Not the bolt, the socket you'll need for this here. And this, I believe, is a 9/16 inch piece. This is for the little side ones. Your little pot stands. This is a 1/2 inch, I believe. Yeah, 1/2 inch. And they'll just fit in there and tighten them up. And I'll hold the inside with a vice grip. So you'll need a vice grip. Okay. And keep those 2 together. You'll need the bolts. Now I've got some Dremel tips here for my Dremel tool. I'm using this really just to bore out the holes on the bottom. If you see, I did one already. See how big that hole is? And I did, of course, the center hole. And then I was like, wait, stop. Let's do this on camera because people want to build this. You'll also see that I kind of hollowed out an area here. I kind of gouged out an area here. And that's for this cable because it was kind of just sticking out. Now, again, we're going to have feet on this, so it won't really matter. But I don't want it to stress and, turn that and bend it all the time. So this way it's nice and flush. So the first step we're going to do is try to get those feet in. Since we already did the center, and I mean, again, the center was take a Dremel tool, take this thing and just gouge it out until it was perfect. And then I kind of deburred it with a flat version of that. Just put it up against there and made it nice and flush on both inside and out. So those are that. You'll need a Dremel tool. And I used a Sharpie marker just to mark where I'm going to put my pot stands because I put it down in there to see how deep it should be. So the first thing I'm going to do is drill out these 4 holes. I've got one done, so I got 3 more to go. And I'll bring you back when we're putting the legs on. Okay, so we just finished that up, and the way I know it's finished is I'll take this, the big bolt that's going to be for the feet, and I'll just put it in there, and if it goes right in there, we're good. This one was the first one. I kind of messed it up, but once with the washers on it, it'll be fine. I made it a little too big, and then I pushed too hard, and it got a little bent. But as you can tell, the others, I just went slow and took my time, and they came out perfect. So, let's get these feet on this first and see how it works. Now, something I explained before, I'm going to take these. The reason I got these only threaded, not all the way down, is because I want it to stop there. I want that to be the same on every bolt so it's level. I'm going to take this plus a washer, put it over that. I'm going to put it in this hole first, and it kind of screw in there. It's not... it's just the right size. And you can make the holes bigger if you want, doesn't matter. Now we've got that in there. I'm going to take the washer on the other side, put it down over it, and then take my bolt, my nut, and screw it on there if I can get it in. I had it in already. I'd take it out for the video. There we go. Remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. That's how the bolts go on. And the nuts go on, I mean. Keep calling bolts nuts. Alright, so I just got it hand tight for now. That's good enough, but you see how it's going to work. So I'm going to take this and tighten it up really good with my ratchet and my vice grip, and we'll move on to the next 4. You see how to do it. We'll put on the next 4, then we'll concentrate on the burner. I've got them all in there hand tight, as you can tell. What I'm doing now is going through and tightening each one up just enough. I've got the vice grip on one side, and the ratchet set on the other. And they were already pretty tight. And again, they don't have to be ridiculously tight. If you don't have these tools and you want to just do them hand tight and keep an eye on them when you're using it and make sure that you keep them tight, you'll be good. Let's see how even it is. That's what I'm concerned about. Yeah, a little off, but not too bad. Again, we're going to be putting this on all sorts of crazy rocky soil and stuff. I can back those out a little bit and get it better. But that's not bad for a first start. So I'll back that out a little bit. I'll make it perfectly even. And then we're going to do the pot stands. But next we're going to put the burner in. Now, while no survival project's going to be perfect, I'd say that's pretty stable. That's pretty perfect. I got them nice and tight. Again, you can hand tighten them if you want and move them around a little bit. It's a matter of just backing out a little and tightening this down and tightening that up. And it came out pretty darn good. So those are your legs. And they're not going to be perfect. This one's a little crooked, but it'll do. Again, this is a survival project, not an engineering project. So, we're going to take the stove now. Now, this is the part where your gas comes out from your isobutane canister. So what I did, and if you noticed I mentioned that notch before here, I put that notch there so this isn't constantly under tension, So you got a little bit of a notch there. But I'm going to hold that flush, okay? And I'm going to screw this top head in. And again, I'm going to just get it hand tight. And you see the holes there for air? I'm going to use those with a screw through them to get it as tight as possible. So we're just going to hand tighten this nippack for now. First get it on the threads. There we go. Make sure my thing stays there. Okay, that's hand tight for now. Now I'm going to take a screw and put it through the sides there where the air holes are, so I can reach in and kind of give it a little last twist. All right, so it seems my idea worked. I used the screw from the old stove, and I put it through those air holes and got it in there nice and tight. That's what it looks like on the bottom. I still have my little spot there where my cable can come through without pushing it up. So we got that nice and tight on there. That's not going anywhere. Now we'll see when it heats up, if it tweaks a little bit, you know, if the metal expands or, you know, anything like that, and we'll go from there. But for now, what we're going to do is stick in our permanent pot stands. I'm just going to stick these in here, and the little edge hanging out from the end, like that, will hold any pot in place. Now remember too, you can use the method with these. If I wanted to just use these tent stakes and just put them across. The reason I'm doing this is because it's less to set up. It's easier, it's quicker, and they're already in there. And primarily, this is going to be used only with this Stanley Cook kit. So I get it down about that deep in there, and I got myself a pretty decent system. I'm probably going to put it there, because that's where my hole is when I measured before. So, let me show you how I'm going to do it quick. Again, double washers. They tend to keep everything tighter. And I'm only using 3 of these. I don't need 4. 1 washer on the outside, like that. Put it in. 1 washer on the inside, like that. And you see how far that sticks out in there. That's pretty good. You know, that'll hold pretty much a lot of different smaller pots. And we're going to just hand tighten it and make our way to the next one. Now what I want to do is kind of eyeball and see, get that straight, eyeball and see about where, you know, I want one here, and one here, like kind of a triangle. So let me get those installed and I'll bring you back when that's done. And there's your build. That's pretty much it. It's really, really simple with some basic tools. I mean, I didn't really need much of anything. All of that could have been done by hand. I did tighten these up with the proper socket, and I just held the inside with a vice grip. I'll give you a look at what that looks like inside there. So you see you have those sticking out. Let's see how it holds this pot. And there we go, perfectly. Right on the money. Of course, now I get it on camera and it starts sliding all over the place. Let me back up a little bit and show you. There. Goes right in there, holds it perfectly, right on the money. So we're going to test it out. I'm going to boil 2 cups of water with it, and we're going to see how well this works, and I'll make myself some coffee. But let me get the water in here and get the thing attached. First, we're going to test it without anything on it, and then we're going to try the 2 cups of water. All right, guys, you're going to get to see the first burn right here. I'm going to turn it on. I hope the stick stays lit, but I lit. And there you go. It's going. Seems to be going well. No problem. Let's turn it up. Damn, that's like a forge. Alright. So let's turn it down. All the way down. There we go. I'm sure that flame in there. It does simmer too. That's cool. I'm sure the orange flame is just sparks of stuff. Little pieces of metal that I've ground off everything. Let's get our 2 cups of water. I've got this here. Alright. And let's get our timer going. Okay. We got our stopwatch there. Hope I cleared it from the last time. We're going to put it on here. Put it on that, there we go. Okay. We're going to turn it up and start the timer. Now one of the things I'm wondering with this, as I get the timer going here, is will it keep this cool, because it's kind of shielded here. I know when we do these over fires or the little stoves, this gets very hot. So far I'm not feeling hot at all. So let's see how long it takes. Alright, we're at 1 minute 14 seconds. I want you to take a look inside there. Almost there. I'm just going to let it run out and see how far we can get with it. Doing really, really well. I haven't noticed any problems with it yet. I do like the fact that it's got a little bit of a windbreak now, a natural windbreak. And I doubt it's any faster than the original Lixada stove, but it does seem to work very well. I do like the way it's working. No, everything seems to be working good. Got a little bit of a boil going on there. We're almost at a rolling boil at 1 minute and 52 seconds. Probably be in the 2 minute range. But it is starting to boil up. Let me take you inside again. See? There you go. Back up a little bit. I'm checking for damage of this or anything melting or anything weak, and it seems to be holding up really well. I don't see any problems with it yet. Not even the bottom of the cup. So Looks like we'll be about 2 minutes and something. Starting to get a rolling boil now. Almost ready. I'd call that good. What do you guys think? I'd call that good. For what I'm making, I'd call it good. Yeah. Alright, there we go. Turn it off. So, let me stop. We've got 2 minutes, 41 seconds. Not bad. Pretty respectable for something I built by myself here at home. So I'm going to make myself some coffee with my Stanley coffee press and let this thing cool off. And I'll give you my final thoughts on it. Alright, so we're back, and I got my coffee brewing here. Just stirred it up a little bit. So, there you go. You got yourself a way to cook with fire, with wood. Kind of a biofuel stove over here that I built years ago. And this little isobutane burner here that I built today. Now, people will say it's pointless, what's the point of it? But you know what, if you really want a larger stove to cook on, and a little bit more power out of it, and a little bit better windscreen, that's amazing. That thing really, really worked well. Another neat part about this, let me move this off here and show you, is anything that's bigger can cook right on top of it, you know? I have this titanium pan that's kind of warped, but it would fit on there. You could simmer stuff lower. It's a little bit further away from the heat, so it won't burn as bad. So it's definitely kind of a neat idea. I'm not totally sold on these bolts. I may change them out for tent stakes, because I did notice when putting this in, you do kind of have to, now it went in perfectly. You do kind of have to make sure it's straight, but it doesn't seem to want to fall off. And another thing I noticed, this does stay cool. I was able to pick this up and pour it in there, no problem. So it does stay cool. Again, you know, for 2 minutes it stays cool. If you got something going in there for 4 hours, it may not. But definitely impressed with it so far. Push down my coffee here. Those you guys may have seen this. I did the review on this, years ago. This is the Stanley coffee press. And it's the smaller one. Real simple to use. You just push it down. Anyway, that's the project for today, the video for today, my little project. I've been thinking about this for a while now. And I thought, you know, so many people make wood stoves out of these strainers. How many have actually tried to put a gas stove in it? And that's what I came up with. You got your gas stove, make sure it's cool on the bottom. Got your feet, pot stands, and your burner in the center, like that. And I gotta say, it really came out good. I'm really pleased with it. So anyway, folks, thanks for watching the video today. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe. I try to do new videos at least 3 times a week, sometimes 4, sometimes 5. And I thank you folks for watching. Don't forget to check our Amazon link down below. Most of the stuff that I review, as far as survival and outdoor gear, is in our Amazon store. Some things aren't, but some things are. It all depends. And don't forget to check out our newest channel affiliate, Rock Pals. I will give you a link down below to check out their sales. Don't forget to check out our Food for Patriots link down below. That's preparewithiridium.com if you're looking to get some really good freeze-dried set and forget type systems for your food storage. They have some really awesome stuff. And don't forget to check out our Thrive Life link as well if you're interested in buying some more freeze-dried foods, meats, vegetables, everything. Anyway, folks, I thank you for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.